Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. I'm in the middle, yeah. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. For the tarot portion, I'm using the Star Tarot. It's the second edition on there by Kathy McLeland. There's the whole front of the box. There's a website for Kathy at the top here. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out, kathymcleland.com. Supportive Oracle cards. Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reed. Is that what's... There's websites at the bottom. I want to say that she has her own website. I'll look real fast. I want to say it's on the back here. Yep. There we go. There's a picture of Colette. And at the bottom of that paragraph next to her picture is her website. There's a couple other ones below that. So feel free to check out whatever you would like. And for the last part, I do use dice. I think this is 21-sided. 21-sided, and it does omit 0, so it doesn't do the Fool, but close enough. I'll make it work. I use the 4-sided dice for the element, and then I use this 14-sided dice for the minor arcana. I want to say that the 14-sided dice came from here, mathartfun.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. And then the bigger one came from Tom Anders, which I know there's a website on here, I just don't see it. Impact Miniatures, I think. Hopefully that focuses so you can see it if you're interested. On the back here is that thing. So if you want to use that thing, go ahead and use that thing. Alright, so with that being said, if you want a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the current pricing also, my Instagram is below if you want to go on there. So I'm just on here in Instagram. And without further ado, let's go on to your reading. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? Big breath as we start. This is interesting. It's the good, the bad, no, I don't know. Let's go a little farther. I knew with that big breath. Yeah, but it's not... I think it's about recovery. I think this is what this is. And it's going to go... Okay, there's possibilities. Things could go better. It's ironic. It's not the worst. It's just, I keep getting that it's not good enough. I keep getting like something isn't good enough. And it's like, I need it to go better. That's pushing it well to go there. Okay, so how... Okay, I think we're going to go with like what I'm connecting with what's going on. And then if there's a possibility to go better, I feel like it's hidden, but we'll find it. Because I got like 3 cards face down over here, which I feel like that's like how things could actually go better. So whatever you're a part of, you decided to be a part of it is what I'm getting. So if this reading is going to hit, you decided to be a part of this situation. And it's something that like, it took a lot to get you involved in it, but you made the decision, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a part of this. I'm going to go into this. So the original connection, the original I'm going to do this energy, I forgot. And Aries is pretty good at just dealing with like, this is how it has to go, so I'm just going to handle it. It wasn't like it was perfect, and maybe some of the information was a little bit tainted. It's kind of like when you're finding out, you know, I'm going to be a part of this job, and we travel all over the world, and we see these beautiful sights, and you're like, okay, that sounds great. Everybody's having a good time. Meanwhile, the job is difficult, and crossing these boundaries and dealing with the political this and that, and, like, not everybody's easy to deal with, and Aries knows that. It's kind of like, I was centering on the positive. I saw a lot going on that was really good going on here. I wanted to be a part of it, and I do like the positive aspects. I do. But some of the things that aren't so good, I I feel like I was just not worried about those things. Kind of like, things happen. I'll make it work. It's just some of this got a little heavier than expected. Okay, so the situation, ironically, does seem to have a lot of stress with it. And it's kind of like I'm considering just kind of like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. There's a lot of stress with the situation, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I feel like I'm seriously considering walking away from it. I'm not really sure that I'm ready to do that at this moment, but I feel like I'm seriously considering it. The thing is, there's a lot here I still do very much like. Got the Ace of Cups here. And if I walk away, there's going to be a few different levels of fallout here. The Ten of Swords is like devastation. It's kind of like if I walk away from this situation, having to like go live with a relative or something. Kind of like, wow, I'm going to go right back to square one in a way that I did not want to. There's not just a yes/no in this. I feel like, because I keep looking at it that way, like I'm either involved with it and I just keep dealing with it and I don't like it, or I completely cut ties and I just, I start building from scratch. I start from scratch again. I don't think that's your only option, though. Okay. What is the third option? Because it's like either you do or don't, but... Okay. There are possibilities here. You got the Empress, Page of Swords, and the winged ones? The winged wise ones. So there's an opportunity here that hasn't shown up yet. Possibilities are still abundant. Again, I keep seeing what I like, but it's like what I don't like has become a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be. And I keep getting this, I feel like I have a left-right choice. Either I stick with it, and I just keep putting up with what I'm putting up with, or I cut my losses and just start back from scratch, and I just start doing it from the beginning. There's another option. It needs time to show up. The advice here at this point is to let things kind of come your way. It's not time to walk away, but you may be walking away later. Okay. It's not time to do it, but it might be happening. It still might be happening, but it's like they're saying, for this to really work at your benefit to where you don't start back at square one, so you don't have to start back at square one, which you really don't want to, is what I keep getting. Hold on for a little bit longer. Let things kind of come your way. Some things have to come forward still first. Okay. Because the Hermit card, I'm seeing the Hermit card in the environment. There might be a change that comes that might be more to your benefit if you just wait it out. Like, things might just change. It's almost like instead of having to move, somebody else is going to move. If you just wait it out, it'll go to your advantage. Which I feel like that's a lot to ask of Aries. Because Aries is more of a doer. They're kind of like, either I'm going to do it or I'm not. The waiting thing is not really something Aries really is warm and fuzzy about. Six of Swords. They're trying to wait you out. Somebody is trying to wait you out. I almost feel like maybe this is a political game. And somebody is trying to get you to leave before they leave. Somebody is trying to get you to pull that trigger so that you get the detriment and they don't. They want you to leave and take all the bills with you. It's kind of like if you leave, you take all of the owed money. Like anything that's owed, it goes with you. They want you to take it so they don't have to. It seems to be it's something like that. Like if they can get you to leave early, it's like you take all the responsibility to make sure everything works out. And you have to, it's like I have to pay off all the bills and I have to sell everything else and I have to make sure that this works out. This doesn't have to happen this way. Somebody's trying to wait you out. Because I get the Six of Swords here for them. And that's why the advice is like, no. Don't let them play this game. Wait them out. You can do it. Aries is great with strategy. And if you see it for that, if you see like somebody's trying to wait you out, Aries can wait all day, all night because they won't be outdone. Aries will not be outdone once they see what's going on here. Take it with a grain of salt. Make sure you're safe in whatever's going on here. But I'm getting like if you wait a little bit longer, something is going to kind of pop off here. Okay. 6 of Wands, if you wait. This is if you wait. 6 of Wands is the success card, and then the Empress coming in. This is interesting. So, there's going to be a spot where it's kind of we're stuck. And we got to work together. Everybody has to work together to make this work out. This is if you hold on. Everybody has to work together to make this work out, but we're stuck. Okay. What you want to do is start putting in the effort and just play it off like you're in it to win it. The advice is to go into the Eight of Pentacles. Keep working at it. Keep going for it. Kind of like, all right, this is a bump in the road, but we're going to make this work. And just keep doing what you're doing. Don't over talk about it, or don't over, like, this isn't some, I feel like deep down you don't want this, so we don't want to talk about it too much. You just want to move forward and just like, all right, I'm in it to win it, let's just keep going, and you just keep doing what you need to do. It's kind of like, all right, you're going to do that, I'm going to do this, so we can get past this block and we can get past this. It's going to feel like you're trapped is what it's going to feel like. But what they're saying don't do with this situation, I got to be careful with this because I feel like it's interesting. Don't help other people. Other people are having a harder time than you are. Whatever the situation is, it's kind of like, let them sort it out, and let's see if they'll ask you for help, because I don't think they will. Because if they ask you for help, you're going to ask certain questions that they don't want to answer. So, don't reinforce the bond with other people, because I get you don't want to keep this anyway. Do not reinforce the bond. It seems like that's something that, even if you have to go through the motions as if you are, do not reinforce that bond. Whatever you have to do, Aries can be very strategical. Yeah, I hope I said that right. Do not reinforce that bond. Just whatever you again, you can go through, I feel like you can do this. You can go through the motions and let them think what they're going to think. You're not letting them get the better of you. Just do not reinforce this bond. Do not try to help other people with their own problems. They need to clean up their own problem. Do your stuff first. Just keep concentrating on what you're going to do as if you're going to stay here for the rest of your life, which you're not, but they don't need to know that right now. But when they think that you are, and that's how you're handling it, that's where things start to go more to your benefit. Because I feel like that's when other people are not happy. And they're like, oh my God, I thought Aries, how long do I have to play this game with Aries? Aries is supposed to leave. Aries was supposed to go. This is that side of Aries, like when you're playing a strategic game, and if you have to, you have to. You can outlast people. You can outlast people, especially if they don't realize that's what's going on. That's why we want to keep this to yourself. Don't talk about, I wouldn't talk about this to anybody, you don't have to. Keep it to yourself. Play that long game. If they don't realize that you're playing the game, that you actually, if they really think that you actually are happy, or you're just not giving up, you're like, this is what it's going to be like, so I'm sticking with it. That's where things start to come in, and there's like, they start to wonder, like, wait a minute, what's going on? They also seem to leave you out in the cold. I feel like they go distant from you. They go quiet. And I feel like as you keep moving forward and you're just like handling what you're handling, I don't think you're going to realize that they're starting to get really bent out of shape. Really bent out of shape. Because I don't think they want you to know. So I feel like they're going to avoid you with the Five of Pentacles. Which is fine. I mean, if you're not really a fan of them anyway. Is that the 8? 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords starts to come undone. It's half in, half out. And then the Hermit card, half in, half out. They might start showing their hand. They might start showing that like they don't really want to be a part of this anymore. When they show that they don't want to be a part of this anymore, then what are you supposed to do with this? I see the Two of Pentacles, and I see the Metal King, which talks about discipline and boundaries. But how does this work to Aries' advantage? The Moon card, half in, half out, and then the Ace of Wands, half in, half out. They don't have to know what you're thinking. They don't have to know how you feel. Do not share that. Aries is very honest. I know that. Like, you'll beat people to death with it if you have to. I know that. they don't need to know how you feel. Just keep walking around it. Don't tell them how you feel. Because they're going to, no, don't tell them how you feel. They're going to use that against you. And I feel like this is one of those loopholes where it's kind of like the truth is important. Yes, obviously, but they're not entitled to that truth. That's your feeling. Those are your feelings. That's your opinions. That's your business. That is not theirs. And they don't get to, like, don't even show facial expressions. Like, just keep walking away from the subject or just saying, hey, I'm in this for the long haul. Hey, I'm going to keep going. Or hey, I'm not giving up. Or hey, I don't want to give up. Something like that. Don't tell them your feelings. I know you're honest, but they don't get to use that against you. No. I don't know. Because I get like holding back with that Metal King. Hold back, but start working with them. Because I feel like they're going to start showing their hand and they want out of this situation. So start giving them options. Start giving them ways that they can go. That way they go and they're going to take a bit of the detriment with them. And you don't have to start back at square one and you still get what you want. I feel like they want to get along with you, and ironically, when they're working towards your benefit, or they think you're working with them, however this is working, I feel like it becomes a lot easier to deal with this situation, and I feel like you can get where you actually want to go without like ending up with a ton of detriment. Or like, if you were looking at it in terms of money, in the beginning here, if you just leave, it's like I have $100,000 debt that I have to pay, and it's that my life isn't going to be okay before I pay that $100,000. If you work with this person, I feel like you're going to end up like $20,000. I don't know what happens to the rest of it, but it's just like instead of having to pay $100,000, $20,000 is so much better. I mean, not for nothing, it's a fifth of what you had to have. And I feel like it becomes very simple for me to just take care of that and move on. And the other person pays their part too, whatever that's supposed to be. So I feel like the original way you had to take all the debt. Now it's not nearly as much, and you get out of the situation the way you want to, and it works out to your favor. It's all about how do we get judgment to go in your favor. And I get that there's possibilities here, but you got the Shadow Queen too, and it's kind of like you got to fight fire with fire sometimes. If they're trying to wait you out and they're trying to play a game to where you have to take all of the responsibility, I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those things where you can't win an honorable fight with a dishonorable person. You know what I mean? So I don't know where you want to take that. Take it with a grain of salt. Personally feel like if they don't know how you feel, they're not sharing how they feel. Fair is fair. And if they know how you feel, they're going to angle it to their advantage. Fair is fair. They're not entitled to that information. Those are your feelings. That's not their business if you don't want it to be. That seems to be hinging on this whole thing. If they don't know how you really feel, this is a lot easier for you. And it might as well be. Why not? Right? I mean, why not, right? Are we good? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.